Hello everybody, I'm Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show where I am brown, brownish purple because of the webcam. Anyways, so I wasn't here yesterday. I was under the weather. I wasn't really sick, but I got my physical earlier in the week, and also was going to get my flu shot. And the doctor was like, oh, it looks like you need to get a tetanus shot too. So I got both shots, one in each arm, and this is the tetanus one, and it still hurts like hell. Oh my god, it's crazy. So that, I think, affected my sleep. I wasn't getting good sleep, and then also I think that, you know, my immune system response to the flu shot probably was enough for me to go like, So I just didn't feel like doing anything yesterday. I wasn't like noticeably sick, but I was like, I can't go in. I'm not really feeling like doing a show, but I kind of put something together, and so I appreciate all your well wishes, and I'm sure I'm going to be better. I'm already feeling lots better. Thank you, Havaham, already for the coffee. Coffee from you guys is like chicken soup from you guys. Does that make sense? Okay, anyways, so this is AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show, and we watch old 16mm films, and I got a film set up on the telecine behind me, which converts film to video live, and it's going to slide out of this reel into some tubes, and then it's pumped to you via your service provider. So this is Master Kiteman. Enjoy.
Morning is like the most beautiful thing to me. Everything looks so pure, calm and quiet. Whenever I get up in the morning, I just like to take a walk. Just walk along, watch the water, and just be myself. It's such an eternal joy in it. Morning is such a beautiful time. Go out and just be yourself. Meditate. The whole idea of meditation is that you find a moment in your day, in your busy life, where you can forget everything else in the world. And that's what I do. I take my kites out and be myself. For a few moments I can really forget everything else. Only two things exist, me and my kite, and there's a tremendous amount of concentration in it. But you feel like you're free. You're up in the air without any wings, and you can feel the pleasure of it. I feel to live, I feel to enjoy life, I feel to inspire me to do better things. And it all comes through a kite flying when I'm flying out, and I meditate through it almost every day. Kites are something more than just a piece of paper or material or just a couple of sticks. All the kites have their own personalities. They have their own values, and they are much more than just a construction. They're just like good friends, which are there whenever you need them. Because when you are flying a kite, you go back, you're away from the city and all the houses and concrete. Takes you back to the beach and park and greenery. People often ask me what I get out of kite flying, and it's really hard to describe it in words. It's just something like asking somebody what love is. kite which will fly for anyone. And one night I had a dream of a dragon kite. Having problem with your kite?
Yeah, it won't fly.
It'll fly pretty good if you take this tail off. Would you mind if I show you how to fly this one?
Sure, go ahead.
First of all, you should bow it a little bit over your head so it will glide better in the air, like this. Easiest way to launch a kite is you hold your kite down, the breeze is blowing. That way. And I'll pull the line. Make sure you hold it upward. The nose should be up. There. As soon as you leave, I'll pull. Let go. I make my day by teaching somebody how to fly a kite, somebody who has never flown a kite. If I can make one kite fly a day, I'll be very happy. The specialty of this particular kite, you can control them to any direction you like. Other kite won't do that. They'll just move wherever the breeze is. This kite you can control by inches to any direction you like. Most of the time when I teach kite flying or I want to teach somebody something different, I don't do it myself. I make them do it. I just explain them the basic thing about it and I just help them to get the kite up in the air. That's where they get the greatest joy out of me, that I show them a way to do it, not showing them how I can fly a kite. I want to make them fly a kite. Look at this one, really flies so beautifully.
It is. Great.
Look at how it moves in the air. So glamorous. It's down, you pull it, comes down, you let outline. Comes back in the air. You want to try it?
Okay.
You're getting better already. Learning how to talk to your kite. It's a great pleasure to tell somebody, something he's been doing wrong and to correct him and to make him feel the way you feel about it. Whenever it's a nice day, I just take my cutting line, my fighter kite, and I ask my brother to come along. And we both go out and enjoy the ancient art of kite fighting. They're born and they both have cutting line. The object is to approach and make the right move to cut down the other person's kite. You have to be really, really good kite flyer, like you got to know exactly what you're doing. So you have to make a proper move in order to tangle your cutting line with the other opponent's line. And as soon as the two cutting line tangles, one kite cuts away. Through kites, I like to communicate through people. I want to talk to people without approaching to them, without going to them say, hello, how are you? I like to say it, through a kite. Once in a while in the evening, when it's almost sunset, I just take one of my favorite kite and I'll go out and put it in the air. And I'm like kind of melancholy and sad, and you'll be surprised how different the kite behaves. It's so different, its personality change. It really want to share it, it want to talk to me, it wanted to ask me, what I can do for it. So it's like a friend who doubles up your joys and who halves your sorrows. And kite does that too all the time to me, and I believe in them. And that's what you call a successful life, where you have one person at least, or one thing which you are proud of, to share the joys and sorrows of life together with it. And you never get turned off from it.
That was great. So coincidentally, the first two films had East Asian subject matter, and that was completely coincidental. So sometimes that happens, and I like that. I like those happy coincidences that take place where you're like, whoa. I guess that happened on Wednesday, where we had 3 films there were no narration. Thank you, Miss Cynthia, who's on YouTube comments, for pointing out where our master kiteman was in San Francisco and what's going on there now. I think that's one of the things that's interesting, and why I like collecting and showing these films, is because beyond the subject matter, sometimes it shows places, cities, towns that are very, very different now, in a good way and in a bad way. So that's kind of great. And also, thank you, Jim, for the coffee. People are buying me coffee to get my strength back up after getting a flu shot. They're going to buymeacoffee.com/avgeeks, and that is very much appreciated. Thank you. I have one question for you. Ceramics in space?
Al Miller, a graduate student, a person who has recognized the value of rigorous academic discipline, of singleness of purpose. He's reaching for the stars in more ways than one. His hours are long and lonely. Not many diversions, so minor interruptions are seized upon to break his routine. Most of today's researchers have traveled this route.
ceramic engineering research.
Well, Virginia, is Al Miller there?
Well, he has a run going now. I'll see if he can come to the phone.
Miller speaking.
Oh, Al, this is Jack. See, I was over at Sybil's and I left my raincoat over there. I'm stuck. Could you come out and get me?
Well, I'm in the middle of a run. Can't leave it for about half an hour or so. Out of here? Where are you?
I'm in a phone booth down by the overpass. Yeah, it's pouring down rain out here and I've got my best coat on. I'll use my last dime to raise you.
Well, hold tight. What's the number there?
5431728. Why?
I'll keep you posted. Stay loose. I'll get there as soon as I can. Don't get lonesome.
Al?
You'd think a guy would help a buddy out, but Jack, well, Jack understands which comes first, research or rescue. Still, 40 minutes is a long time.
About time, Al.
Only 40 minutes, hardly an eternity.
Oh, it is when you got an x-ray test to study for.
I got to study too, but I got a pot of coffee on at home. Donnie's in bed. Come on, let's go.
It does make an interesting parallel, though. Imagine being stuck in a capsule in space for 6 months. What do you build such a contraption out of that will hold up and keep the guy alive inside?
Our first manned space flights lasted for a matter of minutes. Then it was hours, then days. But what will happen during extended flights lasting for months or even years? Will our spacecraft materials be able to withstand the whole journey, including re-entry? How important are the long-term effects of hard vacuums, temperature extremes, and radiation? We need to know, need research, now. One graduate student on the campus of a modern university. Al's picked his field, ceramic engineering. 2 to 4 years of his life are caught up in a heavy schedule of classes, independent study, and research. That last aspect is important because the chance to do original research makes the basic difference between most undergraduate and graduate work. Al is a research apprentice, an apprentice at one of the major places where fundamental research is carried out, a university. This is Al's office workshop, space and equipment shared with other grad students like Jack. Sometimes it's not easy to tell in what field research is being done just by looking around. Physics, mathematics, chemistry, engineering, but usually you can tell by the kind of ashtrays or the conversation.
Ceramic products all your life. Remember when you used to drink milk a long time ago? Well, you used glasses and bottles. And when your mother finally trusted you in the bathroom alone, you're surrounded by ceramic products. Tile and porcelain and
How do you
porcelain
tell a
again.
person what ceramics are? Like Jack says, they're such a common part of our lives that many times we don't really notice their presence. But the point is, if you want a material that resists heat, like fire brick, or a nose cap, one that resists corrosion, like glass, one that's hard, like a grinding wheel, or one that combines several properties, high resistance to electricity and high strength under compressive load. Well, if you're after any of these properties, try a ceramic material. And the ceramic engineer is the person who investigates these materials for specific applications.
And reactor parts. And even that precious computer of yours, which probably has ceramic memory units in it. So what makes you think we're on the outside looking in?
Better than being on the inside looking out, especially if it's a telephone booth.
Well, what's this all about?
Oh, just a little adventure in science from last night. Speaking of adventures in science...
Research apprentices, studying on the graduate level and in the process doing research in their field. Important original research, since with all the stringent requirements for materials in this age of space and nuclear developments, ceramic materials must be investigated more carefully than ever before. Al and his fellow grad students are making contributions to the advancement of knowledge about existing and new ceramic materials. Al's research problem is the investigation of the stability of certain compounds of zirconium, oxygen, and carbon in the presence of various gases and at various temperatures and pressures, particularly those which may be encountered in space. His job now is laying out a plan of attack, designing a series of related experiments to be translated into reliable results. To determine which experiments to conduct, Al constructs a diagram of all possible chemical relationships. This serves as the framework for his entire research project. Of course, when questions arise, when he wants to bat around some ideas, Al checks with his faculty advisor, Dr. James Muller. Dr. Muller is one important reason for Al's taking his work at the University of Washington. Dr. Muller, his research work, and his graduates all command a good deal of respect in the ceramic engineering field. Dr. Muller's job as a teacher advisor is to guide and evaluate Al's progress, but not to do the job for him. Next step, what is already known? What has been done that relates to this problem? Now is the time to check the scientific and engineering literature in the field. Pick a language, any language. The fraternity of the researcher is international. If the results are to be precise, the starting materials must be as free of impurities as possible. And have a pedigree to prove it. The apparatus, designed and built to permit precise measurements under all required conditions. Pressure range, normal atmospheric pressure to 1/5,000,000th of a pound per square inch. Temperature range, room temperature to over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Accurate determination of sample weight at any time, or detection of extremely minute changes in sample weight over a period of time. Inert or reactive gas flow at any desired pressure or temperature. Specially built to do a specific job. As a graduate student, though, Al is still learning, and one of the things he learns is to interpret and evaluate the work of others in his field at regular seminars. Last week, a visiting professor. Today, Jack. And in a session to come, Al will get his chance to explain and defend his work. Part of research is constant evaluation. Evaluation of others' work, evaluation of one's own work, and frequent checks with Dr. Muller to make sure no relevant factor is overlooked. When the procedures are agreed upon, Al is ready to begin individual experiments. Planning must be done with care, since many separate but related runs will be necessary. Using different chemical compositions, at different temperatures, at different pressures and for different lengths of time. Many experiments must be repeated under identical conditions just to make sure that the data are reproducible.
Hey, how much weight is that thing losing?
Oh, about a milligram every 5 hours, Jack.
That's not too much, is it?
It may not seem like much, Jack, but suppose you had a piece of equipment that had to operate reliably out in space for 6 or 8 months. Something the size of your telephone booth, for instance, at these conditions would probably lose 30 pounds a month.
Some days it's hard to get any data at all. Al not only has to know how to operate this equipment to obtain reliable results, but also how to maintain it. Frustrations are part of research. And it seems that research intrudes on just about every activity. While the work for his PhD is in progress, Al has a hard time separating business and pleasure. But the day Al presents the theory and basic rationale of his research at seminar is all business. His audience is attentive and critical. Al's analysis of the problem, the sources of his ideas, the manner in which he plans to carry them through, must all stand or fall on their own merits. His discussion of chemical principles must satisfy the physical chemist. His grasp of metallurgy must meet with the approval of the metallurgist. His applications of thermodynamics must satisfy the thermodynamist. Al's research is part of a multidisciplinary effort. That is, knowledge and techniques from a number of fields of science and engineering are brought to bear on problems involving ceramic materials. This is a major step in his research, to describe it and defend it. Then, back to making runs. But the runs are only a part of the research. Al must also find out what has been happening to the compounds in the furnace, why they are gaining or losing weight, how their structure or composition may be changing. Gas chromatography of samples taken from the apparatus shows what gases may have been taken up or given off by the specimen. The electron microprobe analyzes for tiny impurities or detects minute changes in composition. Observations through a microscope show changes in the physical structure of the samples. X-ray diffraction patterns, by changes in the intensity or location of the peaks, provide information on crystalline composition. Feeding this information into a computer provides a rapid means of correlating and summarizing thousands of readings. But even with these sophisticated means of obtaining data, the next step is Al's alone, sorting from the piles of information the meaning of it all, relating these results to the overall structure of the research project. It's lonely work, Al and a problem. Here in Seattle, only 50 feet above sea level, a material is being evaluated for possible use in space. A search for substance, a search for a new material, a substance that can withstand the rigors of space, and also a search for substance and meaning in research procedures, in research achievement, in functional research results. But Al's work is only one of many research projects going on in the same department, and somebody has to know the overall plan. This means that Dr. Muller is not only Al's major professor and the supervisor of his research, but the coordinator of the entire ceramic research program. In that capacity, he provides information on research opportunities to students, including student reporters.
This is a multidisciplinary research grant upon the nature and properties of ceramic materials. Some of these problems may have industrial applications tomorrow, next year sometime, but all of them will be more or less space-oriented. Most of our conventional ceramic materials are quite satisfactory in the normal Earth environment, but would not be too stable in the environmental aspects of deep space.
then this program and from this grant is mainly focused upon graduate students.
Oh, that's one of the more important aspects of it, the training of the graduate students. After all, it's the graduate student that is the real research potential for the program. The university is more or less considered the home of basic or fundamental research, and the utilization of graduate students working towards their Master of Science degree or their doctorate are the ones who actually accomplish this research under the faculty supervision. Now, NASA does have other...
This is the bonus of university research. Not just the accomplishment of significant research, but the generation of research potential. The education of young, flexible minds to tackle problems, any problems.
You're the one that wanted to stay until it came
out. Okay, I'll call Crane and get us out of here.
I suppose it'll be another 40 minutes in this capsule.
That's better than 6 months. Just stay calm, Jack. Hello? Donnie? What are you doing out of bed so late? Well, go get Mommy. Donnie, don't hang up the phone. Don? You got a dime, Jack? Oh, great.
That's weird. It just kind of ended. I don't quite understand what happened. That was very strange. Sorry about that. And now it's, for some reason, it's playing on the... I don't know. Have a little hiccup here. Anyways, let's watch some commercials.
Al Miller, a graduate student. A person who has recognized the value of rigorous academic discipline, of singleness of purpose.
Meet the big swinger, get the big picture from Polaroid.
Great new camera. Gives you big black and white pictures in seconds. Get the big picture from the big swinger. It's the little swinger grown up.
Meet the big swinger, get the big picture from Polaroid.
The Salvation Army wishes you a happy and holy Christmas. For a child, Christmas may be the happiest day of his life, or the most tragic one. Poverty may prevent happiness. Then there are the lonely ones who have no place to go. For them, the Salvation Army offers cheerful companionship and a fine Christmas dinner. In hospitals, the Salvation Army has gifts and words of comfort. For members of the armed forces who can't be home, the Salvation Army offers the next best thing, a home away from home. Christmas time is family time. The Salvation Army enables poor families to have their Christmas dinners together. The Salvation Army Christmas kettles mean happiness to millions. For everyone, the Salvation Army offers the true spirit of Christmas, the love a babe born in Nazareth holds for the whole world.
We pay for modern civilization with acid indigestion, gas, heartburn, tense, tight stomach. The modern solution is Digel, the extra action antacid. Digel not only neutralizes excess acid, it also has the extra action of simethicone, which breaks up bubbles of gas, helps relax tense, tight stomach. Digel, the extra action antacid, tablets or liquid.
You get many different descriptions of a common complaint.
It's a stuffy, uncomfortable feeling for me.
It's a tense, tight burning sensation.
An upset stomach.
I suppose it's a very precise description. All I know is that,
It's a rotten, miserable feeling.
You get many different descriptions of a common complaint.
It's a stuffy, uncomfortable feeling for me.
It's a tense, tight burning sensation.
An upset stomach.
I suppose it's a very precise description. All I know is that,
It's a rotten, miserable feeling.
Recognize your description of heartburn and acid indigestion. People are affected differently, but one product relieves all those symptoms. Digel, the extra action antacid, with the extra action of simethicone. This white layer of Digel contains effective antacids to neutralize excess acid. This yellow layer contains simethicone in a patented formulation that breaks up frothy bubbles of gas to help relax your tense, tight stomach. So whatever you call indigestion distress, remember Digel with simethicone is the extra action antacid that brings you more complete relief, tablets or liquid.
Baby's upset tummy and yours have a lot in common. It's a well-known medical fact that eating too much or too fast can cause pressure and gas. Here's the best solution for baby. For you, Digel, the extra action antacid. Digel not only neutralizes excess acid, it has the extra action of simethicone that breaks up bubbles of gas. Helps you feel better fast. When you eat too well, demand Digel.
Baby's upset tummy and yours have a lot in common. It's a well-known medical fact that eating too much or too fast can cause pressure and gas. Here's the best solution for baby. For you, Digel, the extra action antacid. Digel not only neutralizes excess acid, it has the extra action of simethicone that breaks up bubbles of gas. Helps you feel better fast. When you eat too well, demand Digel.
Let's join the Tannables.
Make the most of moments in the sun. Coppertone makes living in the sunshine fun. It gives the fastest tan as you will quickly see. 'Cause nothing tans like Coppertone naturally. Get the fastest tan that anyone can. Tan don't burn, get a Coppertone tan.
The Tannables. They get the deeper, darker, richer tans as Coppertone's creamy moisturizers keep skin satiny smooth. Get a better tan with Coppertone, America's favorite.
Tan don't burn, get a Coppertone tan.
You get a quick tan with QT, a double tan, you see. It tans you anytime, rain or shine when you use QT.
You don't have to spend days in the sun to get a tan. QT Fabulous Quick Tanning Lotion by Coppertone tans you indoors without the sun. Gives you a gorgeous tan in just 3 to 5 hours. And outdoors in the sun, QT gives you a double tan, deeper, richer. It helps prevent sunburn, too. Yes, QT tans you with or without the sun. You get a double tan with QT, guaranteed by Coppertone.
When your child has a cold, the flu, or a headache, best relief for fever and pain is St. Joseph Aspirin for Children. Recommended by children's doctors 4 to 1 over any other. Best relief for your child's fever and pain is pure orange-flavored St. Joseph Aspirin for Children.
You get a quick tan with QT, a double tan, you see. It tans you anytime, rain or shine when you use QT.
You don't have to spend days in the sun to get a tan. QT Fabulous Quick Tanning Lotion by Coppertone tans you indoors without the sun. Gives you a gorgeous tan in just 3 to 5 hours. And outdoors in the sun, QT gives you a double tan, deeper, richer. It helps prevent sunburn, too. Yes, QT tans you with or without the sun. You get a double tan with QT, guaranteed by Coppertone.
When your child has a cold, the flu, or a headache, best relief for fever and pain is St. Joseph Aspirin for Children. Recommended by children's doctors 4 to 1 over any other. Best relief for your child's fever and pain is pure orange-flavored St. Joseph Aspirin for Children.
Yeah, so this Oregon Archive, somebody asked about that. So that's a fellow collector who has an archive of old films that we have been scanning for them. and we've been showing some of them on our show because they don't have the means to show them, and they wanted to share them. So we've what was the name of the film? City Life in India was one of the films from their collection. A lot of those Mogul Brothers films came from Oregon, and they're based in Pittsburgh. So thanks so much for everybody for tuning in. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I'm not done yet. I got this.
I can check that gear in a minute, so don't touch anything, okay?
Hey! Get down from there! Now! Hey! Turn it over! What if it bumped that control by accident? You'd be mincemeat by now. What have I told you? You don't work on equipment when the engine's running.
Well, I told him not to touch anything. All right, I guess I wasn't thinking.
You weren't thinking? You mean you'll work on engines and machinery and not think of your own personal safety? Here. Shake hands with danger.
Shake hands with danger. Meet a man you ought to know. I used to laugh at safety. Now they call me Three-Fingered Joe. things by the book. Just let me get my toolbox and I'll take myself a look. I climbed up on a dozier with my mechanic's pride. Said, you can keep it running, friend, while I poke around inside. Shake hands with danger, meet a guy you ought to know. I used to laugh at safety, now they call me Three-Fingered Joe. Although I learned a lesson, I forgot it soon enough. The nicks and burns and scratches showed the young ones I was tough. Till another morning I was grinding on some steel. My other hand got careless and fed my skin into the wheel. Shake hands with danger, step right up and say hello. Grinding wheels and metal are what made me Three-Fingered Joe. I've seen mechanics burning and I've seen them take a fall just to save themselves a minute. I've seen them lose it all. I've watched them courting trouble, seen them take a chance and lose. They get careless for a moment and spend a lifetime with the blues. Shake hands with some friends I used to know. Compared to them, I'm lucky to be just Three-Fingered Joe.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Of course, yes, you know, some of you saw it. You're like, oh yeah, safety shoes. Sure, shake hands with danger, feet. You guys get it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate people who get it, tuning in and commenting and sharing what we do. I hope everybody has a great weekend. You can buy us coffee if you like what we did by going to buymeacoffee.com/avgeeks. You can also go to avgeeks.com and see other shows that we've done and other films that we've digitized. And we have digitized quite a few. But the big thing is you can just hit the like button or the thumbs up button. And that way you tell the computers that you like AV Geeks. And so other people who like similar things will be able to see AV Geeks. It's all very sneaky and annoying, but it's kind of how these social media things work. And YouTube is definitely social media. It's not just showing videos. It's actually interactions and comments and all that stuff. So, and I guess I just read that YouTube is not showing thumbs downs anymore, dislikes. I think I get to see them, but I don't think you get to see them, which, you know, day late, dollar short. It's been a problem. Anyhow, thanks again, everybody, for your eyeballs, and we will see you again very, very soon. Please rewind, love each other, love yourself, and we will see you on Monday. Everybody take care.